Hey all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my review channel. Today I'm talking about Paul Schrader's Dog Eat Dog, which very, very interesting film. Before I dive into it though, just want to say if you enjoy this content, please give this video a like, really helps out the channel. And we are nearing the end of the Summer of Nic Cage, we're in the final stretch of this. We got about a week left, but if you want to be notified of content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and if you actually want to be notified, hit the little bell in the corner. But Doggy Dog, alright, so before I dive into this, I watched Kill Chain, followed by Moonstruck, followed by Dog Eat Dog, all in the same day. And I'm doing reviews for them all in the same day as well. This fucking movie started off so promising. You get some crazy fucking visuals, and you just have Willem Dafoe just high as shit, just being a weirdo, and it's great. It's absolutely great. Then it gets a little weird when he brutally murders this woman he's staying with, and then chases her like teenage daughter upstairs and shoots her. And then you get your opening credits. That's your cold open, is Willem Dafoe doing a bunch of coke, some heroin, and then murdering this woman and her child. And that's your kickoff into this story. And it really was intriguing. Weird fucking visuals that they use. But unfortunately, that's all this film really is. This film has no real plot besides these are dumb, bad criminals, and that's kind of it. You got Nick Cage, who's playing Troy, Willem Dafoe, he plays Mad Dog, and then I forget the other actor's name. I think it's like Christopher Matthew Cook, I think it is. He plays Diesel. And it's just these three guys. They've all done time. They've all done jobs together, and they're all very close with one another. Mad Dog is definitely the wild card of the bunch. He is definitely the Charlie Kelly of the gang. But yeah, they just trying to do jobs to pay the bills, and then they get the opportunity for a big score, and things go wrong because they're incompetent. But there's no punch. Like, this film has no point, and I have such a big issue with that. And it's mind-blowing that this is Paul Schrader. This is the guy who did, like, Paul Schrader is this fucking screenwriter of Taxi Driver. He did fucking Bringing Out the Dead, like, fucking Raging Bull. Really fucking talented guy. And he makes this. I figured maybe he's just not the best at directing, like he's just a better writer, but even the writing is awful. He didn't write this. He didn't fucking write it, which blows my fucking mind. Like, Paul Schrader, one of the best screenwriters, now he's a director, does not write his own fucking films anymore. And he's going down the fucking drain. Like, his career is going down the drain. It's extremely frustrating. The one couple praises this film for being just vapid and just having no point and just going from plot point to plot point to not even plot point to plot point, from just location to location. This film is just so aimless. It's very interesting. You're gonna have a good time watching it, but when you get to the end, you're gonna be like, what the fuck was the point of all that? Because there isn't one, and you get a really, really weird ending. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, this film is just super aimless and nothing amounts to anything. But I had a good time. Like, but yeah, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. Not a 5 out of 5. 5 out of 10. It's just, it's aimless and there's no point. And while it's fun and exciting to watch, there's no point, and it just leaves you with this bad feeling at the end. Not like sad or something like that. No, you just have like, oh, I just wasted my time. Okay. But I gotta talk about some spoilers. So, fucking ending. So, like, the last act of the movie is what should be one of the more interesting acts in the movie. In this, it's kind of boring. You basically find out that On their big score, that the big job that's going to get them into the big leagues, they've got to go kidnap a baby from this guy who's not paying back like this $4 million debt, and kidnap the baby. It's $750,000 payday for them, and then if he pays the money to get the child back, then they get half of that, or half of whatever he pays back. But regardless, it's a $250,000 payday for each of them. All that's supposed to be there is the nanny, the mother, and probably the mother's boyfriend. Bring some weapons just in case it gets bad, but all they're supposed to do is kidnap the baby, and have the family send a message. Well, the actual father shows up there to confront the girl and to confront the mother and her boyfriend and beat the fuck out of the boyfriend. So when they get there, they think he's just some armed security guard, and Mad Dog blows his fucking head off with a shotgun. And now, like, you, the audience, know, oh, fuck. But they don't know this yet. And nothing, like, Nic Cage finds out. While Nic Cage is finding out, Diesel and Mad Dog are going to go get rid of the body. And Mad Dog's taking Diesel to the place where he disposed of the mother and daughter that he killed in the beginning of the film that I already mentioned. They're getting close. He wants, Willem Dafoe, fucking standout performance in this. He is just awesome in this film. Like, he is the reason to see this movie. He's really, really fucking good. Apparently, Nic Cage, paid $100,000 of his salary to Willem Dafoe to convince him to do this film with him. So, found that really interesting. Yeah. Willem Dafoe, standout fucking performance. Probably one of my favorite performances by Willem Dafoe. Sucks the film around it is awful, but he is fucking amazing in this. But yeah, so he's taking them there. They're getting close. And something goes wrong. The place that they're storing the bodies, it kind of collapses. They fall through the floor, and he's just continuing talking, just being his character. And Diesel just pulls the gun and shoots him in the face right then and there. Diesel contacts Troy. They meet up. Troy tells him that, hey, Mad Dog killed the guy that we were supposed to get, that we were stealing the baby from. He can't pay the ransom now. And he's just like, oh, well, I killed Mad Dog. Not for that. He was just annoying the shit out of me. And they go off, and Diesel goes into the store to grab some groceries and some stuff. Nic Cage stays in the car. Some cops come. One goes inside to go see what Diesel's doing. The other starts fucking with Nic Cage. Nic Cage beats the fuck out of her. The other cop comes. She gets up. Diesel comes out, pulls his gun, shoots her, runs the fuck out of there. Nic Cage is arrested. Diesel gets into this high-speed car pursuit and wrecks the car. I think he's killed in the crash. It's kind of open-ended around him. And then it cuts back, and Nic Cage is getting taken by these cops, and they pull off somewhere. They beat the fuck out of him. They handcuff him, one of his arms, to the back of the car, and start driving around, dragging him on the ground. And then we fades back in. We're in this black and white, 50s style diner. Nic Cage abducts this this black pastor and his wife. Abducts them, has them drive him around. He's talking like fucking Humphrey Bogart the entire time, so I can't tell if this is in his head or if this is supposed to be real, because he's still wearing the clothes. His clothes are all torn up. He's got the handcuff on, so I can't tell if this is supposed to be in his head or if this is actually taking place. But for some reason, he's talking like Humphrey Bogart. He starts driving, they're in the backseat. He's basically telling them that they're going to get out of this fine. And then cops find him, tells them, stay here, don't worry, I'll handle this. Gets out of the car. All these cops surround them. He starts moving away from the car to, protect them. He tells the cops that the Reverend and his wife are in the car. And then the cops unload on the car, kill both the Reverend and the wife, and then kill Nic Cage. They're aiming for the car, and then they aim for Nic Cage. And your movie just ends. You get the end pops up on the screen, and then credits roll. And I was just sitting there just like, is this fucking real? What the fuck was the point of this? Like, really upset me because I was having such a good time with this movie. And then the third act just destroyed the movie. First two acts, very entertaining. It's just these dumb criminals and them just being themselves. And it was building to them doing this big score and fucking up that big score, which they did. They just fucked up how they handled what happens after they fuck it up. Like, the way this story goes is these characters turn on one another, or the cops come and they stay together until, like, the cops take them down all together. Get a fucking Butch and Sundance, like, dumb version of Butch and Sundance kind of Last Stand. But no, that's not what you get. You get them turning on each other but not turning on one another, and just this weird, bizarre, really out there ending. But I still had a good time with this film. I would still recommend this film just off of the merit of Willem Dafoe's performance in this. That alone is reason to see this film. And like I said, the first two acts, they are interesting. It's just by the time you get to the ending, you realize that nothing had any point, and kind of makes the film more worthless. But still had fun with it. It's probably a film I will rewatch, because it was so damn entertaining in the beginning and just visually interesting. But I would compare this to, like, Oliver Stone's Natural Born Killers and films like that. Like, the film itself has no merits. It's just the weird out there visuals and just the weird characters that are in it. That's what the film is based off of and sold. It needs more than that, but it's still interesting. But yeah, 5 out of 10 on this one. If they had pulled that ending together, I'd probably be giving this a 7 or 8. This was a really good time in the beginning, but that ending just fucked the whole thing up. That's gonna wrap this up. I figure I'll keep the theme going, and tomorrow we'll talk about Raising Arizona. Yeah, it's just another baby kidnapping movie with Nic Cage. Talk about that tomorrow, but till then, thank you for watching. Hope you all stay safe, and catch you next time.